To be wrongly accused of being a sex offender is the worst. Is worse than being accused as a felon.
A Buffalo man has spent years haunted by his own name, all because he shares the same name and birth date as a registered sex offender. But after speaking to News 4, he's now has his good name back. News 4's Lou Raguse first introduced us to John Johnson several months ago. He couldn't find a job. He was turned down for housing assistance, all because he was being confused with a sex offender. His situation seemed hopeless, but now Lou is here tonight with some good news.
That's right, Jackie. This is a News 4 investigation that's gotten some real results. I spent a lot of time on the phone with the State Division of Criminal Justice Services trying to get to the bottom of this, and now John Johnson's name has been cleared.
Okay, lower it real slow.
The path to vindication
All right, how are you feeling today?
has been long and frustrating for John Johnson.
Like, I've lost a lot, and now I'm like starting over.
That's because for years now, John L. Johnson, the father of 5, has been wrongly labeled John C. Johnson, the sex offender. After turning in dozens of job applications, John just couldn't understand why no one would hire him.
McDonald's wouldn't even, they wouldn't even hire me.
He was turned down for job after job and for Section 8 housing assistance. But the rejection letter from Belmont Housing Resources was a blessing in disguise because they were the first ones to give him the reason. That was in February when we first introduced you to John. He just learned he shares the same name and birth date with a man who tried to rape a child, a man whose crime was popping up on this John's criminal background search.
To be wrongly accused of being a sex offender is the worst.
It took time, but after I contacted the State Division of Criminal Justice Services, they removed all traces of John C. Johnson from his background search, and they sent him a letter stating he's not the same man as the sex offender. He brought that letter to his most important job interview in years.
That is exactly what got him in.
I showed her the letter, and she was like, oh, well, I'm glad that you brought that, because if we would have went back into the system and it came up, there really wasn't nothing that I can do.
So now John Johnson, who just months ago couldn't even get hired at a fast food restaurant, is training for his dream job. He'll be a certified nursing assistant and work at Northgate Healthcare Facility.
I saw your segment on TV, and I'm like, wow, that could really damage somebody. And then all of a sudden, he shows up in my class yesterday. I think he'll be an asset.
Along the way, John says he nearly fell onto a dark path, but he persevered, and it was worth it.
It's such a good feeling that, now that I know I can work for something, like, that's all I ever wanted to do. I don't like handouts. I like to do for myself.
Now, while John has resolution, the root of the problem still exists. The FBI criminal background search looks only at names and birth dates on New York's sex offender registry, so the chance remains that this could happen to someone else. Reporting live, Lou Raguse, News 4 at 5:30.